Majo John Madden, my peaceful place, my inspiration point in Orizaba. And when I come here, I ask myself, what's an excuse to make a video of this spectacular spot with the Orizaba River, the Pueblo Mágico sign, because Orizaba is a magical pueblo, the Santa Ana Church, so stunning, Palacio de Gobierno, the city hall, Cerro del Borrego with the cable cars, and I was up there 2 days ago. So I want to make a comment about relationships and the difference between transactional relationships, which is Trump, it's all he knows how to do, and love, and how you need both of them. A short video came across my YouTube feed today where a Trumper was trying to make the case that Trump is a genuinely good man. You gotta do a lot of mental gymnastics to try to claim that, because I trust Mary Trump, his niece, when she says it's not his fault that he's a monster. His father created him that way. That was a deeply evil man, Fred Trump. And he raised Donald J. in a way that made it impossible for him to feel empathy or to care about others. All he knows how to do is to take. Another thing came across my YouTube feed the other day from MSNBC. It was like 6 years ago when he was president, and he had officiated at the National Prayer Breakfast. And right after this Christian minister, Lawrence O'Donnell, thought the Christian minister was aiming it at Trump, saying, Christ says forgive your enemies. You have to love your enemies. And Trump got up there and said, I don't know if I agree with that guy. And he proceeded to rail against his enemies, to the shock of the good Christians that were on that stage and in that audience. But everything's a dialectic. Life is a dialectic. Any one rule is just going to get you in trouble. So if I had a rule that says I can't in any way be like Donald Trump, it would get me in trouble. I'm transactional sometimes. I have transactional relationships. My wife and I divorced when our son was 2, and we worked damn hard to try to be friends for his whole youth, for his sake. Now that he's all grown, we're free to be more honest, to have more integrity, and admit that we can't stand each other, and we can't. And I claim to have taken the Bodhisattva vow. I am full of love, and I have been accused even before I woke up 4 years ago of loving everybody. And that's my baseline. But I also trust Brené Brown when she says the dialectic is between open-heartedness and solid boundaries. And so the way I live my life these days is I affirm, tell everybody how wonderful they are. But when they're behaving like an asshole, I jump in their shit and either entreat them, wake up, or if they're obviously totally committed to being an asshole, I try to stop them from doing whatever evil they're doing, like Trump. Or I just make fun of them. Guy came up in my Facebook Messenger the other day, who I haven't had dealings with for 4 years. And he wrote me to say he's mad at me for something I did online 4 years ago and he wants me to take it down. And I said, you know, I didn't let on that finally I remembered who he was and that he always was incredibly annoying and that he's obviously still that way. But what I said is, you know, I'm kind of busy in Mexico. You know, that was Asheville, North Carolina 4 years ago. I'm kind of busy here in Mexico, but I'll try to get to it. I honestly will try to get to it. And I actually looked at his Facebook page and tried to find the offending post and did not succeed, and wrote him and said, please guide me. But along the way, I said to him, you know, I'm wondering if you really are living your fullest life, that you actually think this is a thing to worry about. And he just put up a confused emoji, like, I don't know, what are you saying to me? So skewering him did not wake him up. A guy who for a long time I identified as one of my best friends. We were in men's groups together for 20 years. And these days he is invaluable to me transactionally. He's a successful businessman. He knows how to make things happen. And he helps me launder my money here in Mexico. For a long time he would give me money to help me with my trip because my Social Security check never makes it. But he doesn't want to do that anymore, and I don't ask him to. But he'll loan me money that I pay back. A year ago, I got the balls to confront him and say, you're an Enneagram 8, you're the bull, and you are the prince in your family, and you have to be the helper in every relationship. You will never be a really good friend to me because you're constitutionally unwilling and unable to see who I've become. You liked our relationship when I was still broken, a broken man from having been misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder. You liked me during those 30 years. And now that I've gotten bigger than I even understand through all the spiritual changes I've been through, you won't let yourself see that. No, you won't watch my videos. If I send you a video to you, you won't watch it. Because your stance is, he's got nothing to teach me. I know more about the spiritual life than he does. But I continue to use him. And he's done one really dramatically wonderful thing with his life. He gave up Chicago and he and his wife moved to Arizona in the mountains. That's spectacular, and I praise him to the hilt. And I keep using him. It would have more integrity for me to drop him, but I can't afford to do it yet. And in the meanwhile, I've got back in touch with 4 other old friends, each of whom shows much more promise to actually see who I am, including a really adorable woman who's done such wonderful stuff in terms of turning her life around. And whereas my other friends moved to Arizona is in some ways window dressing because his consciousness hasn't changed, her consciousness has changed. And I'm floored, I'm knocked out, I'm enthralled by her. So, can't think of anything else to say. I think I'll shut up. Thank you. Buen dia. Have a good day.